It's disturbing, isn't it, that at a time of national crisis, with the NHS in serious trouble, that there's a revelation that the royal family's rental charges to the NHS involves this complex interplay between property and public service financing, and the discovery that King Charles's Duchy of Lancaster charges nearly £830,000 annually to the NHS to house NHS vehicles. It raises the question of whether the monarchy's substantial income, particularly from public bodies, could instead support the very services it profits from, like the NHS. This becomes all the more poignant as the royal estate, tracing back to land seized centuries ago, often enjoys tax privileges such as exemptions from capital gains and corporation tax. Critics argue that profiting from public services such as the NHS and the armed forces appears counterintuitive and possibly unethical for a monarchy claiming to support public welfare. Sir Edward Lee's call for transparency and accountability reflects the frustration over a system that allows such charges with little scrutiny. Baroness Margaret Hodge's recommendation for the royal duchies to pay corporation tax underscores the demand for equitable treatment in taxation. I think it would be much better for the royal duchies to simply grant the NHS and the army the land that they rent free of use for the forthcoming future, for forever. Defenders of the royal estate, such as the financier Ben Goldsmith, argue that the duchies are private assets akin to any family wealth, albeit on an extraordinary scale. And supporters suggest that the monarchy's historical role in land management and conservation benefits the public indirectly. Prince William's commitment to net zero initiatives within the Duchy of Cornwall and mental health programmes for tenants hints at a modernising royal approach. But such gestures seem dwarfed by the millions funnelled from public bodies into royal coffers. Whether these funds could better serve the NHS directly rather than through rental obligations is an open question, and something that I think could be creatively discussed. Simply demanding more tax from the royals doesn't add that sort of gesture politics that would be so useful at this particular time. The monarchy's unique status complicates this, suggesting that while royal rents remain a lucrative revenue source, their growing ethical flashpoint in Britain's ongoing debate about wealth, welfare, and the public good needs this gesture, needs this moment of warmth. And it would be quite easy to do, I think, frankly. I don't think it would seriously destroy the coffers, the royal coffers, either. I think it would be an interesting gesture. But, certainly things like the money for the warehouse for the NHS vehicles, this is utterly wrong for it to be paid into this royal fund. This is something that the monarchy can gift to the nation.